Now then, it's Burnsy, and welcome to our regular Curiosity podcast, the CuriosityCast. Every episode, we take questions asked by members of the public in Hull and try to get them the best answers from the very best brains in the city of Hull. Not all questions are about Hull, and they can be about whatever you want to discover. Now, this episode, we're talking poetry, and we will have some poetry, seems right. And we'll talk pebbles, not sure about whether we'll have pebbles, and painting, and all manner of wonderful things with one of the most popular figures in the East Riding of Yorkshire. International Man of Mystery, I don't know whether it says that on his passport. Dean Wilson is best known as a poet, but also became a minor internet sensation during lockdown with his Pebble of the Day posts. He's a Hull lad who lived for years in London and has now moved out to his beloved Withensea, and he joins us on the CuriosityCast. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you, Burnsy. Very well.
Oh, it's tough for coming to see us. We've loads of questions for you.
Yeah.
I want to ask this. This one's just coming from me. When did the sort of artistic endeavour start, really? Was it always there, or you suddenly made a decision, right, I'm going to do this. This is my destiny?
Well, the writing poetry side started when I was 15 or 16, when my best mate, Martin King, asked me to write some lyrics for his band.
All right, cool.
But I thought there was punk, because there was. But by the time it asked me, I didn't realise I'd gone heavy metal. So I wrote some like punky sort of lyrics. And, so there was never used.
Never the twain shall meet.
No.
Punk and heavy metal.
This is producer Dave, by the way, who we all know. So that's how it started, writing lyrics for a band. Did they have any success, Dean?
No. But they did want to support Nico from the Velvet Underground to Chuck.
Right.
And
were you there?
That was about 84, yeah. In fact, during the day, I saw Nico coming out of Prospect Centre boats. It's true. Yeah.
What was? Because she was an icon, one of Andy Warhol's icons, wasn't she?
Oh, she was.
Did you get to meet her and have a chat backstage?
No, I was still shy. But in fact, I think she played at Old Chuck. In fact, I don't think it was called Old Chuck then, was it? But anyway, down Spring Street Theatre. Yeah, I think she either played there twice or Quentin Crisp did. I saw one of them twice. Right. I don't know which one it was. But I met Quentin Crisp. It was really nice.
Right. So, can you get the two confused?
Quite easily in 1984.
I'm wondering what Nico wanted in boots. I mean, she was well known for her intake, wasn't she? Put it that way. Yeah. But she might have just nipped in for a meal deal or something.
I don't think they did them in 1984.
No.
Or a decongestant. Who knows?
Maybe she needed new contact lenses.
I can see this is going to be one of the more curious Curiosity casts already. I'm loving it.
It was a brilliant gig, by the way. She was just pairing a little harmonium. It was just spellbinding.
So you started writing lyrics for your mate's band. What were they called, by the way, just in case anybody...
I can't remember, but the tagline was the Humba Rumba.
Right.
They had a single out, but that was good. But I ain't seen him in years. I'd like to meet up. Now we're all 60. It'd be nice to meet up again.
That's quality. And then how did it continue from that? What did you start doing?
I just carried on writing from the age of 15 or whatever until I was about 53, 54, and I got a book out. So it took a few years. But,
was it always the ambition to do it? Why did it take so long? Was there something holding you back, or you couldn't get
basically thick, Burnsy. I think that was holding me back. So I don't know.
I think the evidence suggests you're not. Donald in Orchard Park in HU6 says, "Is it true you were a postman?"
Yeah, I was a postman for 20 years, 16 years in Hull, and then I got transferred to Islington in London.
Right. Okay. Was that a cool experience going to London, Islington?
I loved it. I lived on the Marquis Estate, and I was like 10 minutes walk to my delivery office, which was off Upper Street next to the.
It's a good night out, Upper Street.
Next to the Almeida Theatre.
Yeah.
I was gigging all the time, and it was brilliant. I loved it.
When you say you were gigging all the time, you were doing your poetry, yeah?
Yeah, poetry comedy. Yeah.
Right, and how was that going down in
Really,
London?
really well. I used to get plenty of gigs.
Right.
Yeah, I loved it.
Okay, and what sort of places were you playing then?
The Poetry Society and different bars here and there, and there was somewhere in Camden Town. All of it, I've forgotten half of them.
Right. So what brought you back from London to Hull and to With?
Well, the Royal Mail offered me voluntary redundancy.
Right.
And they offered me 30 odd grand to go, so I thought, right, no one's going to offer me that again. so I went, and I thought I'd stay in London, but the only job I got offered was when you go around and read people's meters.
Yeah.
And then I turned that down. I tried to get the job on the trains, I couldn't, but then I managed to get a job in Hull, where on a night shift in a homeless hostel doing the cleaning, and
right.
And I was there 10 years and I retired.
So you've always been a grafter then, as well as doing the artistic stuff, the poetry and what have you?
Yeah, grafter. I like that word.
Yeah, okay.
I don't look like a grafter. I look a bit delicate, but yeah, I'm a grafter.
And why With, Dean? Why did you retire to With?
Because I wanted to live near the sea, and because I don't drive, I wanted somewhere with regular buses.
Yeah.
And the first bus from With to Hull is 5:30 in the morning. The last one from Hull back to With is 11 o'clock at night. And
so you don't have to spend much time in With. That's the bonus.
That's
hey, cheeky. No, I mean, if I was told I could never leave With again, it wouldn't bother me. So
I've got a question here from Paul in HU10 in the West Hull Villages for Dean Wilson. I'm going to make it a two-part question because his question is, why did you stop doing Pebble of the Day? My question will be, why did you start doing Pebble of the Day? What was the inspiration?
Well, it just happened naturally. I was on the beach and I saw an interesting pebble. This was like a couple of months before I started doing Pebble of the Day, and I just found a pebble with a hole in it, which they're known as hagstones. And I tweeted that. Anyway, it was quite popular. Then a couple of months later, I found another really interesting pebble. And without thinking, I just put Pebble of the Day, #1. Then I didn't stop for 1,000 days, and I stopped because I'd done 1,000.
You thought that was it?
That was it, yeah.
Was there a public outcry? Were you still getting lots of messages saying, why are you not doing Pebble of the Day? We're missing Pebble of the Day.
There was weeping in the streets, to be honest. There really was.
Listen, I don't doubt it. I'm weeping now, we'll have to.
You ended up on Look North because you were finishing it, didn't you? There was a proper, people were proper traumatised by it.
Yeah, but Look North was really good. I was on it at the height of it during lockdown, and just brilliant people started getting involved, like Muriel Gray and Ian Macmillan and J.K. Rowling. Just fab people just started following me and liking Pebble of the Day, and that it was great.
Did that open any doors for you? The likes of those people? Did J.K. Rowling sort of send you messages?
No, but because like J.K. Rowling and Ian Macmillan were liking them and that, your followers go up. I remember one day I got like 1,500 followers in a day.
Right.
Extra followers. It was just
crazy. Did this sort of grow out of your exercise regime and going for a walk on the beach and stuff?
Oh, no. I wouldn't exercise. I moved to With to be by the sea and just walking on the beach. And it's not all about looking at the horizon, there's looking down as well, and you sometimes see more looking down than you do looking up. So.
But didn't you say one of the reasons you stopped is all the looking down was giving you Pebble's neck?
Pebble neck, yeah. I've still got pebble neck. That's why I walk funny.
Doctor, I've got pebble neck.
It's true.
I'm not. But you still look down all the time though, because now you do beach fans, don't you?
Beach fans, yeah. So I do that just about every day. So.
Right. And are they going on Twitter and all the social media platforms?
Yeah, some of them are doing better than Pebble of the Day. You
right.
know, I mean, a while ago, one got like 3,500 likes and stuff, and yesterday's got over 1,000 likes. And I'm all about the likes, Burnsy. So.
Well, we all need the love, Dean, don't we? We all need the love.
Well, I don't get anywhere else apart from Twitter. So.
And the appreciation. That's what we need. This from Christina on Victoria Dock in Hull. Checking out your musical past. Now we know you were a lyric writer for a punk stroke metal band. Are there any more Eric and Arta songs coming? Explain Eric and Arta. Who are Eric and Arta?
Eric and Arta are a Latvian and a German young a lad and a lass who live in New York, and they was in London and they saw one of my books in the bookshop,
right?
And they liked the poems, and they decided to write some poems. To write some music and turn the poems into songs, and they ended up doing 10, and Dave managed to get me a record. Am I breathing heavy?
No,
it'll be Dave.
Yeah. Excitement.
I knew you were going to say that.
I get that a lot, to be honest.
But there's more to Eric and Arta.
You will explain it, Dave. I can't.
But the real very popular musicians, aren't they? Eric tours all over Europe with really big acts and does very well. And Arta is massively popular in New York, isn't she? She sings with orchestras and all sorts.
Yeah.
So and the LP came out in lockdown, didn't it? Because the songs originally arrived with you in the middle of lockdown, I think, didn't they? I remember you sending them to me.
Oh yeah.
And then it got expanded to a full LP, and then it ended up being performed on Broadway, didn't it? They performed on Broadway in Jazz Club
in New York, yeah. And the German Jazz Youth Orchestra performed some of the songs as well. It was incredible. Poems that I'd wrote in Ulm with ended up getting performed on Broadway. It's songs, I couldn't believe it.
It's a great story. The album's called Beach Finds.
Beach Finds, yeah.
And you can find it on all digital platforms. Is it a physical LP as well? Can you?
I think the record companies they've sold out of the physical, but you can still download it and stuff. I think we've got a few left on the website, but not many.
Do check it out.
Yeah, Irregular Patterns is the record company.
Right.
And your website is deanworld.net, is it?
deanworld.org.
There we go.
Talking of Dean World, Julie in my manor in Hessel in HU13 says, when's the next Dean World event?
Yeah, a Dean World event is like a big cabaret show, and we have all sorts, musicians, jugglers, comedians, artists. We've had all sorts. I don't know when the next one is. Later in the year, I think. So yeah, it's a good fun, crazy night. So that was really popular. We haven't done one for a while, have we?
And you have bingo and raffle and all the
bingo and raffle, and then at the end I read a few poems. But we've had some great people join us on stage, haven't we? So it's great nights, yeah.
What's the biggest buzz in all that you do? Is it getting up on stage and doing your stuff, or is it writing it, or is it because you've been in fairness, you've been doing films for Curiosity like I have for social media.
They're good fun, aren't they?
Yeah, they are good fun.
Yeah,
I occasionally look back at mine and think you're a right miserable so and so. Put a bit more life into this. You are actually enjoying it.
Dave,
that's me, not you. That's not a critique of you. I love your stuff.
Dave, you've got mystery and presence. That counts for a lot in my book.
So what gives you the biggest buzz then? Do you like the onstage stuff?
Yeah. I don't like the build up to it because for weeks I just feel worthless. Oh my God! But when I'm up there and when it clicks into place and it's buzzing and you feel proper alive. Yeah.
So you've got sort of pre-match nerves then?
For weeks and weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
It's weird because
I am a very nervous person.
But then you get up and you just nail it.
Yeah, when the magic's there, there's no better than being on stage in front of a laughing audience.
Yeah, if you've never seen Dean live, go and see him. He'll make you howl. You can tell by this CuriosityCast just how funny he is. We're halfway through the CuriosityCast today. Thank you very much for taking the time to find it and listen to it. I'll just remind you that you can send us your own questions and we'll answer it either in the next podcast or in the content you can find on the Curiosity social feeds. And if there's anybody you'd like us to talk to, do let us know. So message us at www.curiosityhull.co.uk or find Curiosity Hull on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and we're so on it, we're on Blue Sky as well.
Poem time, I reckon. Don't you think poem time? Let's have a break for a poem.
Okay, so this what's it called?
This poem is called "It Is What It Is" because for the last 7.5 years, people have been saying "it is what it is" a lot, haven't they?
I don't need to know any more.
Why 7.5 years?
Well, I just like. Should we give it the big build-up? So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody else on the Curiosity Cast, our first bit of poetry delivered by the wonderful Dean Wilson.
Right, it is what it is. Mr. It is what it is was at the quiz last night. But he only said it is what it is once or twice, which isn't like him. I hope he's all right. Maybe he's...
Sorry.
Can we put you off and laughing?
I couldn't read my writing.
The sound in the background is not a dog panting. It's Mr. Dave Lee.
I've not heard this one.
This will give me time to put my glasses...
That's what started you.
Yeah. Did you want to go from the top again?
Yeah, I'll
just
go from the top.
Start again. We're not editing that because that was magic.
I'll try not to laugh out loud.
Mr. It is what it is was at the quiz last night, but he only said it is what it is once or twice, which isn't like him. I hope he's all right. Maybe he's constant, it is what it is in us drove his wife to distraction and she's left with the kids. Or maybe they're as bad as their dad for saying it is what it is and she's totally flipped and ran off with a ventriloquist for a life of fun and frolics from Blackpool to Benidorm via Biarritz.
Sorry, Dean.
I'm flattered.
Oh, dear.
You went as far as ventriloquist. That's what did you?
I know, just wasn't expecting that. And now I was reminded at the bar on Prinny Ave where I spat a pint of lager over Russ Litton's wife. I did in one of your gigs. You came out with a line which I can't possibly repeat.
It wasn't a normal Friday night out. It wasn't one of your gigs.
And just a mouthful of lager just went across the aisle, all over poor Ruth. I do apologise.
Was that the JB Barron gig I was on with him?
So yeah.
Oh yeah, God,
upstairs in, I can't remember the venue now. Union Mashup, which is a lovely venue.
I saw Ruth the other day. Went to see the Maria Callas film.
Right.
My God, it was brilliant with Angelina Jolie.
Right.
Brilliant. I left the pictures in an emotional wreck. So.
Highly recommended.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can get... I don't want to get back on track. We're going to have more poetry before the end of this ventriloquist. Brilliant. When can we see more of your paintings? Says Phil in HU3 on Springbank.
Oh, bloody hell. My paintings, no one's asked me that before. I'm working my way up to an exhibition. I've got plenty of paintings, and it'd be nice to have them shown somewhere.
Because you were dead shy about them for years, weren't you? You didn't really want anybody to see them.
Well, I stopped painting for about 15 years, and I started again in 2023, and I got into it again. Is
there a style? What's the inspiration?
I don't know. Before you write your poem, you get a certain feeling. But you get a totally different feeling when you want to paint, and when that edge comes, I'm in the coal shed getting my paints out and my canvases, and I'm off on one.
Right.
The big and colourful and cartoonish. And
have you always done it at school? Were you doing that? Were you
not
painting
really
as well as the?
I did what I had to do, but I started it when I lived on started painting properly when I lived on. Perth Street when I was a young postman.
Right. I think the technical term, and tell me, I think they're called primitive. Right. So they're very simple kind of figures usually, aren't they?
Yeah, figurative. Yeah.
Right.
But like you say, very colourful and
very colourful.
All right.
I love them. I think they're brilliant paintings.
You've got one in your kitchen.
I have got one in my dining room. Actually, it got upgraded. So it's in my dining room. It's a bloke walking his dog.
Is it?
It is. It's brilliant, though.
Listen, I'm not doubting it in the slightest. I'm looking forward to the exhibition.
Dean did a little event as part of a bigger exhibition at Humber Street a couple of years ago, didn't you? And put a few on the walls then. People loved them. So it was fantastic.
Yeah.
When's your next book coming out? Says Jamie in Withens. Are you working on one? Is there one in the pipeline?
Well, there's one all ready to go, a full collection. But I was hoping it'd be this year because I'm 60 this year, but it's probably more likely next year. And but just before Christmas, Russ Litton inspired me, like he often does, because he wrote one of my favourite poems, In Defence of the Moon. Mm-hmm. And then I messaged him and told him I performed it at a gig a few weeks ago. And he said, It's longer now. So he sent me the new version, which was maybe 4 times as long, and it was absolutely brilliant. And that got me thinking to a poem I wrote called Let's Dance, which Russ turned into a song. Anyway, to cut long story short, my Let's Dance poem, it just grew and grew and grew, and now it's 150 verses long, so I might bring that I might bring that out as just a little book this year. So, yeah, I'm still sort of working on it, but it's more or less done, but I'm just really buzzing about it. I've never wrote a long poem before. So.
150 verses.
It's epic. It's an epic.
It's an epic. So I'm going to call the little pamphlet. What am I going to call it, Dave?
You told me this morning it was going to be
a characteristic, an uncharacteristically long poem by Dean Wilson about interpretive dance. That's what it's going to be called.
I'm sold already. I'd ask you to do it now, but it's only a half-hour podcast.
How long does it take to read?
It takes about 20-25 minutes to read.
Oh, right, okay.
Wow. That's a gig in itself.
That's going to be a 3-hour gig with the rest of your stuff.
I won't subject people to it on stage.
It's got all Grateful Dead.
But it's fun and it rhymes all the way through, and I just need to get it tightened up, and then I'm going to...
149 verses.
Yeah.
Just tweak it.
My eyes have just about dried out now, so I've stopped crying with laughter. So I think, I don't know about you, Deb, but I'm ready for another another opus, another epic from Dean Wilson. What's this one called and about?
Well, this is called The Queen of the Street, and it's about Susie Birchall. And Cheryl Murray sadly passed away last year, and she was my favourite character in Coronation Street in the mid-70s. And here's my tribute to Cheryl Murray, Susie Birchall. Susie was the queen of the street. Twice weekly she made my heart skip a beat. Susie took no prisoners. Susie was one of us. Susie could always be heard above the din. Susie stole every scene she was in. Susie lived with Gail and Elsie Tanner. They got on like a house on fire, until one day she called Elsie a slag. Elsie wasn't happy and gave her a slap. Susie left not long after. Gail stayed put and got dafter and dafter. Darling Susie, them were the days. Susie Birchall, forever and always.
Sorry if you're listening to this podcast. Me and Dave have just... it's
so hard to not laugh in the middle of it.
Indeed, it's wonderful work. It's I don't know what, it's the unexpected. It's brilliant. Where can people get your work and get your poems? And because how many books are out there? Is it 1? Is it 2?
2 full collections published by the one and only Wrecking Ball. You can get them from Wrecking Ball Bookshop on Whiteford and JE Books down in Epworth's Arcade and online and what have you.
And can you, Dave? You know, because you produce quite a lot of films.
I should say, really, I've got a vested interest because I helped Dean out with stuff. But he should mention as well, there's the live LP that you did. So
I did the live LP as well.
20-odd, 30 poems on a live LP.
Yeah.
That is absolutely stunning and funny. The audience, that the night we recorded it, was absolutely amazing.
So you just search Dean Wilson and you'll find it? Is it again, a physical LP?
Oh, yeah. That's Irregular Patterns brought that out as well as Eric and Arthur's.
So it's on the CD and it's on all the music services as well. But DeanWilson.org is the place to go to find stuff.
This from Margaret on Bransome. Are you doing the Dean Wilson Film Club again? For those that don't know, what's the Dean Wilson Film Club?
Well, it's somewhat me and Dave do with back to hours. I write a poem, then show it to Dave, and if he likes it, we'll go off to wherever and make a film out of it. And back to hours, bring it out, and it's fabulous. They're really popular online and what have you.
An online film club. I think we've done 4. Have we done? We're doing like one a year. Every year we do 6 or 8 new films and show the old ones. It's very, very popular online. Mm. I hope we do another one. I think we're overdue another one, aren't we?
Oh yeah, I'm sure it'll happen. It'll be good. So yeah.
You mentioned earlier you were 60 this year, yeah?
But next month. Don't tell anyone.
All right, okay, we won't tell anyone. What's the ambition? What do you want to achieve? Is there something you want to do? Is there a bucket list?
Well, I want my next collection out and a little book with my long poem, and as long as I get another collection out, I can, die quite happy, really.
60's the new 40, Dean.
Well, yeah. But
that's what I'm clinging to in the rear view mirror.
My sister's paying for me for a few nights in the Grand when I'm 60, so I'd have to see anyone.
You're not a big party animal, then?
I've got no social skills, Burnsy, whatsoever. No, I'm terrible. So I'm hoping for a night in one of the turrets in the Grand.
The Grand Scarborough, the big hotel on the seafront.
I love it. It's on the same site where Burnsy died.
Right.
Cuthbert Broderick's final big building. Yeah. The famous Hull architect.
There's a wonderful view from the bar there, isn't there? You sit in the bar and you can see the waves rolling in and crashing in, and
Yeah. I love Scarborough. I thought about moving there before I moved to With, but anyway, I'm glad I ended up in With.
Do you feel more inspired then by the seaside and everything like that?
Yeah, I do. Because you can just walk for miles on the beach, especially in Holderness, and you don't see a soul for hours sometimes. It's brilliant.
So when you were in London then, when you were grafting and as a postman and all, but doing your comedy stuff, you weren't missing the sea, were you? Or was it day trips out to Brighton or whatever?
I wasn't missing the sea because I've never lived by the sea. But it's strange, but when I lived in London, I lived there 4 years, I only really wrote one poem.
Right.
The Future is Medieval. The only half-decent poem. So it took coming back to Hull to start writing again.
So we'll finish this Curiosity Cast with Dave and me in stitches, I suspect.
Watch him pick one of his serious ones just to let give us
What are you going to give us, Dean, to finish? I've loved the conversation, by the way. You've absolutely made my day. This is the Curiosity Cast. Remember, you can ask questions and seek answers on the Curiosity website, www.curiosityhull.co.uk, or follow and friend us on all the socials, where we're Curiosity Hull on all the main feeds. We'll be back very soon with more quality answers to whatever question you'd like to ask. It's been an absolute delight having a chat with Dean Wilson today. And we will finish with what, Dean?
It's a poem called Searching, and it's inspired by Hazel Dean, her famous high energy song. Searching, looking for love. Searching. He's looking for love in all the wrong places. He's looking for love, and he has been for ages. He's kissed a few frogs and he's kissed a few toads, all the way from Fairsaw to Dover via the Norfolk Broads. He's looking for love, it's obvious to everyone he meets. Some people give him a go, but most turn on their heels. He's looking for love, Hazel Dean would be proud. This time next year he could be wearing a shroud. He's looking for love in a lay-by at the moor. He's laid his cards on the bonnet, but the trucker said no. He's looking for love. He's optimistic to the core. He likes to try places he's never been to before. He's heard good things about Bromley Barbour, and that's where he's heading first thing tomorrow.
There's no way of topping that. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Curiosity Cast and the wonderful Dean Wilson.
Thank you, Burnsy.
That was brilliant.